Yo, in this video, we're going to be going over Runeglass gems in New World. This includes what they are, how to craft them, what they do, and a whole lot more. But before we really dive in deep, I want to let you guys know what this video really is and what it isn't. So we're going to be covering all of the things I mentioned and some, but we're not going to be doing a lot of damage testing, etc. for the gems in this particular video. But we do have some of those planned in the future. So if you're interested in that type of content, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that future content. And thank you to everyone who's already subscribed so far. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. Thanks for watching these videos. I appreciate you guys being here. And if you just enjoy New World content, make sure to subscribe as well, because we got a lot more planned for the video. So let's jump right into this thing. Runeglass gems are gems that are being introduced with the Brimstone Sands update. These gems are augmentations to the cut pristine versions of a gem, and they're going to provide you with additional bonuses such as leeching, additional damage, mana siphoning, and more. So they can be crafted at a tier 5 stone cutting table, and they require 180 stone cutting to craft. Each of the gems will also require a Runeglass case, and the case can be crafted at a tier 5 forge, and it's going to require 180 weaponsmithing to craft. And these cases are going to be what dictates the additional effects of the gem. So how do you use these Runeglass gems? Well, in order to use one, you just need to obtain one and then slot it into your weapon and armor, just like you would any other gem in the game. So whenever you do so, you're going to receive the benefits of the gem, and then once it's slotted, you cannot remove it. And if you replace it with another gem, it's going to be destroyed, just like how other gems work in the game. So this is very important to take note of, is that the effects of the Runeglass gems do stack. Therefore, you could slot all leeching gems, for example, and you could benefit from each gem being slotted. And it's very important to note as well that the effects are different for your armor and your weapons, as we're going to take a look at here in just a moment. So also worth pointing out is that these again are augmentations of the current gem. So for example, if you have an amber gem slotted, you're going to get the effect of the amber gem, and then you're also going to get the additional effects of the Runeglass type. So here are the types of Runeglass gems. So we have leeching, and this is going to add the leeching power to any cut pristine gem. So you're going to gain 3% of your damage as health if it's on your weapon, and then you're going to gain 1% of your damage as health if it's on your armor. Both of these have a 2-second cooldown. There's also the Energizing variant. So this is going to gain 8 stamina with each successful hit, and it has a 3-second cooldown if it's on your weapon. It's going to gain 2 stamina with each successful hit if it is on your armor, with a 3-second cooldown. There's siphoning. You gain 1.5 mana with each successful hit on your weapon, and you gain 0.8 mana with each successful hit on your armor, and that is a 2-second cooldown. Igniting, you're going to inflict burn, and you're going to deal 8% fire damage per second for 2 seconds. That is on your weapon. Whenever it is on your armor, your fire attacks do an additional 2% damage. Freezing inflicts frostburn and deals 8% ice damage per second for 2 seconds when it's on your weapon. On your armor, it does your ice attacks do an additional 2% damage. Abyss, it inflicts corrosion and deals 8% void damage per second for 2 seconds when it's on your weapon. And then whenever you put this gem into your armor, your void attacks are going to do an additional 2% damage. Electrifying is the same with lightning damage. Nature is the same with poison damage. And then empowering is the same with hex or arcane damage, as all of the above we just listed. And then we have punishing and sight, and these two are a little bit different. So punishing allows your melee attacks to do an additional 2% damage whenever you put this on your weapon. Whenever you put this gem in your armor, your melee attacks do an additional 1% damage. Sight is the same, only with ranged attacks. So your ranged attacks do an additional 2% damage, and then your ranged attacks, whenever you place this on your armor, do an additional 1% damage. So what dictates the type of bonus you get from these gems is the Runeglass case. So you have to craft a Runeglass case, and it's going to be leeching, energizing, siphoning, igniting, freezing, abyss, electrifying, nature, empowering, punishing, or sight. Those are the different Runeglass cases you can craft. So you need that Runeglass case, and you can put that Runeglass case on any cut pristine gem to receive the effects we just mentioned above. Now, how do you get a Runeglass case? Well, in order to craft a Runeglass case, you're going to need specific ingredients that can only be obtained from the Brimstone Brimstone Sands zone. You can find the raw materials utilizing our interactive map, and I'll make sure to link that down in the description below. And these include materials like the sandstone that's going to be used for the charged sand and the sulfur chunks needed for the sulfur that you're going to need to craft these cases. Then there's also glyphs and ectoplasm that you're going to need to craft these cases, and these can be obtained from supply crates, elite chests, and then these also drop from certain mobs within the Brimstone Sands zone. So what do you need to craft these cases? Well, for every single case, you're going to need 10 charged sand, 4 sulfur. You're going to need 5 of one type of glyph. You're going to need 5 of another type of glyph, and then you're going to need 3 ancient globs of ectoplasm. So that's how you're going to craft them. So there's various types of glyphs you can loot or obtain from the mobs. It's a food glyph, a gift glyph, water glyph, a chaos glyph, sun glyph, an above glyph, a shadow glyph, a mountain, river, night, sealed destruction, strength glyph. I think that's all of them, but you get the picture. There's a lot of different glyphs you can obtain, and then each of these glyphs can be used to craft one of these cases. And then each case requires 5 of one type and then 5 of another type. So 10 total glyphs to craft these things, along with the other materials we just listed. So remember, you also have to have your choice of cut pristine gem, and then once you have your case, like we mentioned before, you can utilize both of those to craft the Runeglass gem to slot it into your gear. So in order to do this, you're going to need to have 180 skill in the stone cutting profession. You're going to need to find a tier 5 stone cutting table. So what you'll have to have is you'll have to have the cut pristine gem of your choice, the Runeglass case of your choice, 2 solvent or 2 pure solvent, and then 1 gold ingot, and then that's it. And then you'll be able to craft your gem. However, crafting those Runeglass cases, as we've seen before, can be pretty tricky to get. Getting those glyphs could take a little while to get. The ancient ectoplasm can take a little while to get. The sulfur and the charged sand aren't too terribly bad, but the glyphs and the ectoplasm can be kind of tough to obtain because they are just dropped items. So that's how you get them, that's how you craft them, that's what they're used for, etc. So I think these things could be pretty crazy. Actually, I think we could see some interesting builds come in with these. I'm not so sure how well the 8% magic damage applied to your weapons is going to come into play. It's just 8% dot damage is applied to your weapons. I really don't see a lot of people using those unless they're using a fire staff and they're wanting to inflict a burn and then have it on their armor to inflict additional burn damage or additional fire damage with their attacks. If I'm using melee, I really don't see myself taking something like that over just flat melee damage or even leeching. I think those would be really good, or energizing with the plus stamina. I think that one would be really good. Siphoning, I feel like that one's going to be kind of meh. I don't know if anyone's ever going to take siphoning, but nonetheless, these will be very interesting to see these come into play. I would imagine that the assassin builds, kind of the schizo builds that are coming in, will probably just do all punishing gems on everything. Your ranged dex players are probably just going to do all sight on everything. It will be very interesting to see how well leeching does and if it gets utilized a bunch, but we will be doing some testing on these things and try to get to the bottom of this before this patch goes live. So that's it. That's the Runeglass gem guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you found this useful. Hope you got something out of it. And if you want to reference the chart, you can come to newworldfans.com. We have all of the information over there. I'll make sure to link this guide down in the description below. And again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you got something out of it. And if you want to continue the conversation, let me know what you think about these gems in the comments below. Which one are you going to use? Which one do you think is going to be strong? Do you think leeching is going to come into play here? Do you think any of the dot damage ones, like inflict burn, deal 8% fire damage per second for 2 seconds, is going to come into play? I don't. I feel like healing is a little bit too strong for dot damages in this game still, but could be wrong. Hopefully we'll see some very good dot builds come into the game. I guess we'll find out. But nonetheless, let me know in the comments below. And then, of course, if you want to continue the conversation, make sure to come visit me over at twitch.tv/BDLG. We stream every Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. CST. We'd love to see you there. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you in the next one.